Hey, thanks for checking out my video. Thought I'd do another update on the build. This is kind of some of the stuff I'm going to talk about. I'm going to try to go through it quick. This is probably going to end up being longer than I want it to be, but there's kind of a lot of stuff I think is important that I want to share with you guys. But we'll start out with just an overview of where the build's at right now. Still got the same weapon, same rings I think. I recrafted my chest. I was actually trying to just craft it with really high evasion with no life roll, so I could take the 15% mastery, but I ended up hitting this life roll, so I'm just gonna keep this. It's got really high, nice evasion on it. I got yoke, put Panopticon on it. I got a new shield, and the reason I bought this shield is because it has this nice shock immunity on it on the Crucible tree, and then it's got a little bit of resists and evasion. Minus block sucks, but it's an acceptable downside. So yeah, and then I bought it with scoured basically, and then I just recrafted it with just doubt essences. All I needed on this was the suppression, and then as high evasion as possible, and so this has got a ton of evasion on it. So this plus the chest, we're like really pushing our evasion up into mid 40k territory here, which is really nice. These boots are the same, I think, except I put brittle ground on them. I'll talk about that a little bit more later. Or I guess I can just cover it now. Brittle ground will help you with crit capping when you're still gearing. So if you look in POB, like brittle ground gives you base crit. So if you put on brittle ground here, like it's giving you like about 3% base crit or so is what it gives you, which translates to like 15% crit chance or so. So when you run around, you're gonna leave this little trail of ice, like right here. And if you put that under a boss or under an essence or something, it's gonna give you brittle, which will help you crit cap. So yeah, brittle's really good. Same crappy belt. I'm probably gonna replace this next as soon as I get around to it. And then these gloves are new. I just bought gloves from trade that had additional strike on them already, which I think is by far the best way to do it right now, because you can get super unlucky with embers when you're trying to roll it yourself. I've got a little bit built up here now, but I didn't want to waste them. Anyway, and so then I just think I used just a greed essence to hit this life roll. I don't remember what I did. And then craft the pierce on it. I want to get the pierce on the implicit eventually, but crafted pierce is the same thing. I'm going to talk about pierce a little bit more again later. And then cold exposure is also kind of useless because we have that from Frostbomb, but it'll help with clearing a little bit, I guess. And then, yeah, that's it for the gear. The tree looks pretty much the same too. I got to level 94, so I just got a couple more points. I added in this power charge. I got a lethal pride. And then I got the life mastery, which I am probably going to get rid of. I'll talk about that more later too. The lethal pride I got isn't really that good. It just has like a couple crit notables on it. I think 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 crit chance nodes. That's why I got this one. But yeah, the tree's pretty much the same. Enough about that. What else? Got the shock immunity from the shield. That's really nice. Pantheons. A lot of people have asked me about that. I think Solaris is pretty good. I think all 3 of these ones are pretty good, actually. This one's useless because half of them do nothing. I like this one. Just gives you a little more cushion from crits, which is really nice because crits are what's going to one-shot you majority of the time. And then I haven't been able to get that the first minor yet because it's on Lighthouse, which is a warbands map, and it doesn't have the same boss every time. This is actually so stupid. So I'll show you here. If you run this map, you're gonna get like one of these random bosses, and this is the one that you need for the Pantheon. But I ran the map and I put my vessel in, and this boss wasn't there. So then you just waste your vessel, and so that's a pain in the ass. But eventually I'll get around to getting that one. And then I'm running Exarch maps, so I'm taking Aberath because there's burning ground just everywhere in Exarch maps. If you're not running Exarch, I would probably run Rislatha, just for that emergency emergency health flask button. But yeah, Aberath's really good, especially if you're doing Exarch. And it gives you the Ignite cushion too, which is very helpful. What else we got? Alright, map showcase. Let's do a little map. almost at maximum speed here with this build. Oops. This is just going to be Alcongo T16 Tropical Island. I'm going to run this whole map just so you can kind of get a feel for what your map should be looking like. This is with Exarch too. Chisels. So we can see with the speed from the claw, it makes your whirling blades just... Oh, I waited till I leveled up to do this, just in case I died while I was trying to talk and not paying attention. Yeah, but you can see whirling blade speed is just insane. So once you get a decent claw with attack speed, then you're just going to be so fast, like dashing all over the map. And this is, like I said, close to like peak speed that you're going to get on this build. You can get more damage, but your speed's not really going to go up any more than this. So the only thing damage is going to do is help you kill like rares and bosses like a little bit faster. But that's not going to really improve your clear speed like that much. So you can see we're clearing the map really, really easily here. Clear is great. I really want to pick up these chisels. I'm gonna need them. You can see like you're surviving. I died to that strong box like an idiot, but most of the time, hardly ever die just running normal maps, except for like fighting like essences and stuff. This is a weak essence, but if you get like a jacked up essence, it can kill you like pretty easily. And then the Crucible mobs are also like incredibly strong. I'm still not really doing much Crucible because I just kind of don't like it, and I don't know. I'll run more of it eventually. It's not going anywhere. But right now I'm just trying to gear up, farm. So there's the boss, died instantly. And yeah, build's feeling really good. We're almost at like full power now. So that's a good little showcase. My Atlas strategy. I wanted to talk about this last time, but I completely forgot. I'm doing Exarch. Exarch altars are amazing. Take Burning Ground for it. Exarch altars are good because the mobs spawn instantly, and so you don't have to stand around waiting for them to spawn like the Eater mobs do. And while you're standing around, you could die. The altar negative downside rolls, a lot of them are like extra fire resist, chaos resist, which doesn't matter. Whereas the Eater altars give you like a lot of bonus cold resist, which if you roll that altar, like sometimes you'll run into a mob that has like chill resistance or like crit resistance, and it's just like impossible to kill. But the Exarch altars don't have any of that, so they're much easier to deal with. So yeah. Plus, I ran Eater altars the entire league in Sanctum, and I did not find one single Divine altar, so I'm done with Eater altars forever. Exarch altars are much better for making money early in the league. Here's some map mods that you probably don't want to run. Ellie Reflect, you have to reroll. Even if you get awakened Ellie damage, you're still going to kill yourself to Ellie Reflect with like Frostblink and Frostbomb and probably even Whirling Blades. Cannot Leech sucks, but you can do it. Especially if you put on a mana flask, that helps. Like if you're trying to finish your Atlas and you have a corrupted map that you need to complete that has Leech on it, put on a mana flask and it's doable. Cannot Regen sucks because you'll run out of mana and then you have to hit something with like a default attack to start leeching again. Reduced damage from crits can be a bad one because mobs will just be tanky as hell. The more damage mods you put on your maps, like the more likely it is you're going to get one shot by shit. So like Fizz as Ellie, like crit, like increased damage, all those damage mods, like you can run the maps no problem, but just be aware that like if you're fighting an essence or something, it's like the more damage mods, the more likely it is you're just going to die. Especially by Crucible mobs and essences. Avoid elemental ailments kind of sucks too, because like you're not going to freeze very much, especially if you have like increased effective modifiers from your Atlas tree, and you're just never going to freeze shit. And so here's what my Atlas tree looks like. I run a very basic strategy with focusing on essence. So I got all the essence stuff, and then I also have all the strongbox stuff. and all the shrine stuff. So I like to take just the free stuff that's on every map, except for Harbinger. I think Harbinger sucks. And then some Quant here, Shrine, and then Stream of Consciousness. I think Stream of Consciousness is so fun because it just makes Alkin Go so good. I almost run Alkin Go basically the whole league usually because Alkin Go is just so insanely strong and fun and easy. And then the Exarch stuff here. I might take this soon. We'll see. And then I block this stuff because I think this stuff over here is more fun to do. And so yeah, I block that stuff to make this stuff show up more often. And that's about it for my Atlas strategy. Let's see, I already talked about Brittle. Last video I said power charges were a big problem, but they're actually not because I forgot that you can get power charges from Assassin's Mark because I forgot to flip this gem to get the quality. But once you flip it and get quality, you'll get power charges, no problem. Okay, how to stay alive. This is a question that I hear a lot about people complaining about this build, like they're dying all the time, I can't stay alive, you know, whatever. I made another little paint workshop here, and this is gonna be fun to talk about. So when you're in a map, you need to have +2 strikes and +1 pierce to stay alive, okay? And this is not only for offense, but this is for defense too, because in this situation here, you're gonna run up to 2 packs and like this is like, I don't know, beasts and like snakes or something. So give me a like for my paint skills here. So when you have no pierce and no strikes, you're gonna Whirling Blades up here, and then you're gonna hit this mob right here, and you're gonna kill like maybe this stuff right here, and then all the rest of this stuff is just gonna shit on you because you're not gonna freeze it, you're not gonna hit it, nothing. And then you're gonna have to rely on your dodge, and you have to act like Neo here, and if you don't get lucky on evasion, you're just gonna die. And then over here, if you have +1 strike and +1 pierce even, you're gonna hit this mob, and then you'll hit this mob too, let's say. So you're gonna kill and freeze all this stuff over here, but then there's gonna be more stuff over here that you're not gonna freeze, and this stuff is still gonna shoot at you, and then you're still gonna have to dodge a lot, and then you might die too. But if you have +2 strikes, you're gonna stay alive like a lot more often because you're gonna dash into this pack, 2 packs, and you're gonna hit everything and freeze everything at once. And freeze is a big defensive layer for this build, but you need +2 strikes and pierce to like fully take advantage of it. Because if you don't have 2 strikes and 1 pierce, you're not going to be freezing enough stuff, and it's still going to be hitting you like crazy. We do have really high evasion, but it's better just to freeze everything so that you don't even have to evade. So yeah, this is just to emphasize the importance of +2 strikes. Initially, I thought that once I got an additional strike on my gloves, that I would consider dropping this mastery here, but I'm actually not going to. I think it's worth keeping this now. I changed my mind because having 2 strikes is just so valuable, like I just explained. Plus, you get the mastery bonus from Polymath, so you get 3% more damage for having this mastery. So I mean, it's not too bad to keep this. Once I get +2 strike gloves, I probably will drop this once I switch to like a cluster jewel setup, because you're gonna need these points. But +2 strikes is too valuable to give up for this reason. And then if you're dying too, another thing you need to do is get your evasion up like super high. You need to have like at least 80% evade with your flask up, if not more than that. And so the way you do that is you need to get a high evasion chest, like 2.2k, at least 2k, but as high evasion as you can get, and then same with shield. And then, you know, the rest of your gear should be evasion too to add to it. Plus you need it to get the suppression mastery. You need to have evasion on every piece anyway. But you really need to have like high evasion. That's going to help you just evade every attack and stay alive. And your evasion is actually even higher than that because of this node right here that gives the enemy reduced accuracy. So your evasion is actually, like, it says 88% in POB here, right? And like mine only says 83. And I'm going to explain why that is. So part of the reason is because of this node right here, but the other reason is blind. So if you see enemy is blinded, gives you 3% more evade. You see right here, it's going up 3% with blind. And you have blind from Stibnite Flask, and then I also got an additional source of blind, which is this jewel right here that gives chance to blind on hit. So you're going to be, almost everything you're fighting that you hit for a long time is going to be blinded, and that's just going to give you more chance to evade. So yeah, that's how you stay alive. If you're having a lot of problems with dying, fix your evasion, get +2 strikes and pierce, get your crit up with power charges. Because having crit, you need crit to freeze. So if you don't have high crit, you're not going to freeze. Lethal Pride. Okay, so I'll talk about Lethal Pride for a second. I bought this Lethal Pride. It was like the first one on the list. So if you come to POB, you can find a Lethal Pride by clicking this button right here, find Timeless Jewel. And then you put in the socket, you filter nodes, and then you generate, or you search, by DPS. It's going to show you the highest DPS ones, right? And then you copy trade, and then you paste that into your browser here. But if you look, right now, it's like, oh, wait a minute, no results found. So then you hit, okay, next 4. Let's try again. Next 4. Oh, wait, no results found. And I did this like 10 times, and there's just none of these jewels exist because not that many people are farming 5 ways yet. So the Legion jewels are like really in short supply right now. So what you can do instead is just, see there's only 400 on the market. Just pull up the list here and go back to POB and import one. So go right here and go Lethal Pride, right? And then add to build. Come down and find it, click edit, and then under whichever one the jewel you're looking at is, okay, so say this one right here, it's Akoya 17122. So next to Akoya, you just delete all this stuff right here, and you put 122? 17122. Type that in, okay, and then add it to your build. And then if you put that on, it'll show you, or it won't show you, but you're going to have to look through and see, like, okay, what's this jewel do? And you can just take a glance real quick, like War Cry, reduce damage, stun duration, crit multi, 1 double damage, strength. Yeah, this jewel kind of sucks. It's slightly better than the one I had before, but that's what you can do to look at these timeless jewels. And then if you want to look at this one instead, you just have to change the number, 10337, right? So now I come back to items, and then change the number to 10337. And there, now the nodes are all going to be different now, and you can come back and look through again. This is what you need to do until you can just find one from here, because these ones all don't exist yet. So yeah, quick tip, that's how you do that. Okay, how to find Crucible stuff, and like plus strike implicit stuff. A lot of people don't know how to do this. So on the trade site, if you want to look for like a shield like I had that has shock immunity, type the tilde key. Tilde key is really useful here. Just type in Crucible and then type in shock avoid, and then you'll see these nodes right here. Okay, 100% chance to avoid being shocked, and then you can search and see shields that have that node on them, and then you can find one like that has evasion on it, and like you don't want armor or energy shields, so put 1 max there, and then now you're going to see only ones that have evasion, and then you can find like a good base, like Lacquered Buckler is the highest evasion base, so this one would be nice, and you can look through and see like, oh, does it have anything else that's good? Just base evasion resist is not that good. You can even add more stuff to the filter here. Just type in Crucible and then like evasion. You can find like a nice plus evasion mod, or like increased armored evasion. Put in whatever you want, and then you can search for the base that you want. And then once you get the base, then you can just craft it with like doubt essences. Come back here, grab an essence of doubt, Giga Evasion, and then hit your suppression roll, and then you're good to go. Oh yeah, and plus strike stuff. So when you're looking for plus strike gloves, come to the trade site and type in tilde key and then additional strike implicit, and here you go. Put this on, and then put in evasion, and then here's a bunch of gloves that have the strike mod already on them. This is about what you're going to pay 50C for these probably, but it's totally worth it. So get one of these gloves. Try to get a higher item level one, because you'll roll better mods on a higher item level item. So buy these gloves, and then same thing, throw an essence on them, essence of greed, resist essence, whatever you need, and then you're good to go for that. So yeah, that's how you find that stuff. Nice claw. How do you get a claw? Okay. Get a claw, whatever claw, and then use essences on it. This is not that complicated, right? You're looking for attack speed and crit, and then an open prefix, basically. Like this one I have is going to last me a long time because it's solid. You want like 20% plus attack speed, 20% plus crit if you can, with open prefix. Use the highest essence you can afford, but just roll essences until you hit attack speed and or crit. And then if you roll like a high fizz one too, you can also use that. Like this one has a nice flat fizz on it too, and an open prefix. So like this one you could maybe use, but it doesn't have attack speed or crit on it. And this is going to take some investment. It's not just going to happen instantly. If this one didn't have that mana roll, you could put fizz on this and it'd be decent. But yeah, that's how you do it. To start, that's a very basic way to start doing it. Vengeant Cascade. A lot of people have asked about this Anoint. I haven't tested it yet. Behind Eyes Gaming is testing it. He made a video where he talked about it a lot. I'll link that in the description. You guys can go check out his channel. He does a lot of Frostblade stuff too. That's really informative. But it seems really good, but you have to invest in projectile speed a lot to get it to work. And I'm not sure if it's going to be worth investing in that projectile speed, but we'll see. So yeah, check out his channel for more information about that. Okay, I had a example that I want to talk about earlier today when I had to choose between intelligence or life. So on this shield right here, I needed int, right? And I leveled up. So this int node sucks to take this, right? So I was like, oh, I'll just craft this on my shield. And then I can use this point to get this 50 life mastery, right? But you could run into these situations where it's like, you have to choose, do I want to craft the int here and then take this life mastery? Or do I want to craft life here and then just take this int node? So like your instinct might be, oh, I'm going to craft the int here so I can take this mastery, right? But I already have a life mastery right here, so I'm not getting any polymath damage from taking this mastery. So it's actually better to just take the int node and then craft the higher life, because this is 70 life instead of 50. Anyway, I just thought that was an interesting choice to talk about that you might not think about. Like int node here or crafted life here. Another thing I'm going to do about this tree probably now is I am going to craft the int because I leveled up again. So now I have another point, right? So I'm going to put the int here, and I'm going to drop this node, and then I'm going to drop this node too, and I'm probably going to take this jewel socket, or this one, whatever, and put on like a life jewel with more damage. Or maybe I'll take this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. But yeah. A lot of the Crucible trees have notables on them, but unfortunately, it seems like almost all of them have notables that are part of masteries. So like, there's not this one or this one or this one. Like those aren't on the Crucible trees. It's all the ones that like have notables, like these ones, the claws ones. The claws ones are not really worth giving up. Maybe this one. I might give up this one, but not this one. I probably wouldn't because it's got too much crit on it. But any of these other ones, you don't want to give these up either because you need these masteries. So like you might get like this, for example, on your tree and think like, oh, I can give this up. I can take the Crucible node and then save these points. But you don't want to do that because you need the mastery. So keep that in mind when you're looking at Crucible tree notables. Because all the best ones are mastery nodes. Anyway, I think that's it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. I'm going to put up another video maybe a day or two. Give me a like. If you have questions about the build, problems with it that you need help with, leave me a comment and I'll try to help you out. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.